It's a boy. The giraffe exhibit at the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo growing by one today. We'll introduce you to the new 104-pound calf. And responding to Big R, multiple crews fighting a store fire this afternoon near Peyton. And teacher in trouble. D20 officials responding after allegations of sexual assault on a child. Good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for being with us tonight live in downtown Colorado Springs. I'm Nikki Weirich. We have more on the teacher now in tonight's top story. The 40-year-old science teacher under arrest on charges of sexual assault on a child by one in a position of trust. FOX21 Sam Baranowski joins us live in the studio now with more on this story. Sam?
Well, Nikki, a school resource officer at Air Academy High School reporting to Springs police that a student had information about a sexual offense, saying their teacher, Brian Paul Mertz, had sexually assaulted a high school student. Police obtaining a search warrant for Mertz's home and quickly arresting him. They say because of the amount of contact Mertz had with minors, they're concerned about the possibility of other victims. And if any students, parents, or faculty have information or concerns about other possible sexual offenses, they should call police. But the school district says they're glad students felt comfortable coming forward to their SRO.
We always stress to our students that anytime they know of a situation that might make them unsafe or make others unsafe, we urge them to tell an adult.
Anderson added that the district notified teachers and parents of the Air Academy this afternoon, and they're glad the investigation happened quickly. Mertz is no longer allowed on school property. Nikki, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Sam. Pueblo police arresting a man in Alamosa for sexual exploitation of a child and internet luring of a child. Ian Walker, seen here, is accused of contacting a child under 15 from Pueblo. Police say Walker asked for images from the child and also sent images to the child. Police say he first met the victim while working at a youth camp. The award for information on Dylan Redwine sitting at $50,000 tonight. Investigators are looking into all possible tips, even tips from psychics and mediums. The 13-year-old was last seen in his father's home in the Vallecito area, which is near Durango. He was visiting his father on a court order. The teen's mother lives in Monument. The last few days, investigators have searched locations on snowshoes, under bridges, and other sites in parts of La Plata County. Firefighters from multiple El Paso County departments responding to a fire at the Big R store in Falcon. It started in a hay barn. It's located on Big R's property. Luckily, the storefront was not affected. When crews arrived, the barn was fully engulfed in flames. It's a total loss. It spread to nearby grass, putting some neighbors on alert. A few homes were evacuated as a precaution. The fire was contained at 15 acres, and luckily no one was hurt. The dry, windy weather not helping crews today.
The wind is a little concerning, but we're able to keep it contained. We have enough resources on the ground to make sure that it doesn't get away from us.
Crews letting the fire burn out. They'll be on scene to watch the fire throughout the night due to the amount of hay there. No word yet on a cause. And keep in mind, red flag warnings are in effect all along the Front Range. The Colorado State Forest Service reminding folks to prepare their homes now for possible wildfires. Firefighters have a better chance of saving your home if you follow the best available mitigation guidelines. The Forest Service updating its 2 principal guides for protecting your property. You can find those complete plans on our website, fox21news.com. Well, we could certainly use some moisture. Terry has more in the next few hours now in our Fox Fastcast. Terry?
Tell you what, Nikki, I think your best bet for moisture is probably watering the lawn yourself, at least through the weekend. Not much is showing up. Maybe a little bit Saturday night. We'll talk about that later. But for today, hey, it was very warm out there today. Would I lie? It's written right there. Take a look at this. We had a record high temperature in Colorado Springs, 66 degrees. The old record, 1981, 65. Pueblo didn't even get close. The old record stands at 63 degrees. What about those current temperatures? Looks like this out there. We have 49 around the Springs, some 50s up around Denver and Fort Collins. Likewise in Trinidad, a little bit cooler as you head out toward the east. Temperatures in the 30s in Lamar and Burlington. We'll take a look at that forecast for this evening. Here is your fastcast. Look for partly cloudy skies. 45 and 51 at 7, 40 to 45 at 9, and 37 and 38. The temperatures around 11 o'clock tonight. That's your forecast for this evening. What happens tomorrow? We'll get to that coming up in about 8 minutes. Right now, back downtown. Nikki?
Thanks so much, Terry. In the shadow of the Sandy Hook shooting, one group begins the task of assessing what happened and what can be done to prevent it from happening again. Meanwhile, in the nation's capital, another group proposing legislation to address the issue on a national level, but not everyone agrees with their approach. Fox's Rick Leventhal has that story.
The first meeting of the Sandy Hook Advisory Commission takes place in Connecticut. The commission getting information on the investigation into the shooting while also hearing presentations from experts who were directly involved in the aftermath of the Columbine and Virginia Tech massacres. The group expected to offer recommendations on gun control, school safety, and state mental health policies.
We must bring about change through a thoughtful and comprehensive debate, one that looks at not only how we can prevent gun violence, but how also we can fix our mental health system.
In Washington, California Senator Dianne Feinstein reintroducing a revised version of the assault weapons ban that expired in 2004.
Our weak gun laws allow these mass killings to be carried out again and again and again in our country.
The law would define what's considered an assault weapon, as well as ban the sale and manufacture of such guns and high-capacity ammunition clips.
100-round clips aren't used for hunting. They aren't used for self-defense. They're used to maximize the amount of damage one can do in a short amount of time.
Survivors of the Virginia Tech massacre and the attack on Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords giving their support. But not everyone thinks this is the way to curb gun violence. The National Rifle Association taking aim at the proposal, saying in part, quote, "The American people know gun bans do not work, and we are confident Congress will reject Senator Feinstein's wrong-headed approach." The bill faces an uphill battle in Congress with disagreements over the effectiveness of the original assault weapons ban and with measures like tougher background checks more likely to pass. In New York, Rick Leventhal, Fox News.
El Paso County Commissioners sending a letter to the president opposing attempts by the federal government to restrict gun rights. The resolution has no legal impact. It challenges Obama's 23 executive orders designed to crack down on gun violence. Weld County Commissioners expected to discuss a similar resolution, and sheriffs in El Paso, Garfield, Larimer, and Weld counties have announced their opposition as well. A tale of two scenarios for Fort Carson. According to a new Pentagon study, it says the mountain post could gain up to 4,100 soldiers over the next few years or lose up to 11,000 soldiers as the Army downsizes. The study looking at impacts on the environment, population, and economy of El Paso, Pueblo, and Fremont counties. Fort Carson is one of 21 posts in that study that could be affected by the reductions or possible shifts of units from one facility to another. 4 local organizations getting checks today from Mayor Steve Bach. It's part of the Mayor's Gold Cup Spirit of the Springs Awards. $10,000 going to the Colorado Springs Conservatory, $5,000 going to Leadership Pikes Peak and Colorado Springs Together, and $24,000 going to the Pikes Peak Community College Scholarship Fund. The American Red Cross Pikes Peak chapter asking for your help recognizing local heroes in the community. It's accepting nominations through January 30th. Winners will be selected by community leaders. If you know of a hero, just go to our website, fox21news.com, and download a nomination form. Well, there's a proud new mother in Colorado Springs, a tall one at that. Fox 21's John Martin has more about the 5'4" bundle of joy at the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo.
Yeah, we enjoy the giraffes because it's a more hands-on exhibit. You get to feed them and interact with them a little bit more. He really enjoys seeing the animals, so we just came out today because it's a beautiful weather day and wanted to come out and see the new baby. He's so cute.
Yes, the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo is welcoming the newest member to the family, a healthy 104-pound baby giraffe.
Yeah, we had a giraffe give birth on Sunday, so he's just 4 days old today, and it brings our total number of giraffe up to 21. I think it's really interesting for people to know that they usually stand up within 30 to 60 minutes of being born, which is really incredible when you think about how long their legs are.
Since 1954, there have been 197 giraffe calves born in the zoo. There are a couple of theories behind such a large number.
We have a big herd and they're really well taken care of. As you can see, they're nice and healthy. And who knows, maybe the mountain air has something to do with it.
Whatever the reasoning, guests enjoy their giraffe experience.
I think the Cheyenne Mountain Zoo does a great job with their animals, and we're really happy and pleased that they're here.
Just be careful with your camera. John Martin, Fox 21 News.
Under zoo tradition, the little guy will be named in 30 days. Well, they're calling it the Cat Cart, a clever group of Colorado students building the contraption to help this little feline. More coming up in tonight's Modern Medicine. But first, too chilly for skis. One New England resort shutting down for a few days. That story in your forecast coming up live from downtown Colorado Springs.
You are watching Fox 21 News at 6:30. Live from downtown Colorado Springs, this is Fox 21 News at 6:30.
It's getting so cold in parts of New Hampshire, skiers and snowboarders can't even hit the slopes. The Wildcat Resort shut down for a few days because of the frigid weather. Most of the other state ski resorts are still open, but signs have been posted to remind folks to be careful in the deep freeze. Wildcat is expected to reopen tomorrow. Certainly not the case here, right, Terry?
No, but speaking of skiing, take a look at this shot. This is Winter Park at sunrise this morning. A little creepy looking. Looks like the sky was on fire. Some lenticular clouds off to the east of the mountains, but a nice shot taken up at the Winter Park ski area. What about those current temperatures? 49 in Colorado Springs, a mild 58 if you're in Pueblo. A little bit cooler as you head to the east. 40s in La Junta, 30s in Lamar, 42 in Springfield. 10 degrees warmer as you move back to the west, and 24 your current temperature in Alamosa. We'll take a look at our TrueView Doppler. We haven't been seeing much lately, but there is a little bit showing up right now. Could be a few sprinkles just off to the west of I-25 from Denver up toward Fort Collins, and a little light snow moving from Craig down toward Aspen. You can see it's kind of decreasing in aerial coverage. We're expecting it to pretty much decrease overnight. Tomorrow we'll see some sunshine, but another weather system is coming our way. So let's take a look at the satellite. We can figure out what's going on. One weather system right there. It's moving off to the east. Next one's going to come in from the southwest. You can see the center of the low spinning around right there, pumping a lot of cloudiness up ahead of it. That's going to be a problem tomorrow night and Saturday. Not a big problem, but it will cause some snow in the mountains. Then the third weather system up in the northwest off the coast right there. That's going to be a slow mover. That will slowly come east and cause us a little bit of a problem Monday night in through Tuesday. Again, looks like some snow over the higher elevations, but not much east of the mountains. We'll take a look at future view over the next couple of days and see what happens. And overnight tonight, we will look for some clouds, but they'll decrease. So by tomorrow morning, especially east of the mountains, we will see some sunshine. If you're headed to the west, you're going to run into those clouds. But watch what happens during the day. We do see some of those clouds from that next weather weather systems start to move off to the east, so look for some increasing cloudiness, especially along the I-25 corridor and certainly as you head toward to the west. Then overnight tomorrow night, here comes some of that rain and snow with that next weather system, mostly along into the west of the Continental Divide. I don't think we'll see much in the east, certainly not overnight tomorrow night. By Saturday night, we may see a few sprinkles in the eastern part of the state, but as you can see, most of that precipitation, rain and snow, is going to stay in the mountains and the western portion of the state. So let's take a look at that forecast for southern Colorado for tonight. We'll call it partly cloudy. Clouds will decrease as we go through the night. 28 your low in La Junta, 30 in Springfield. We'll look for 31 in Canyon City, 26 there in Salida, 5 below in Alamosa. Not too bad considering what several days ago you were 10, 20 degrees below zero. Tomorrow a little breezy. We'll call it partly cloudy. 58 your high in Walsenburg, 56 La Junta, 54 around Kit Carson, 34 in Alamosa, 20 degrees warmer in and around the Salida area. In Fountain, high temperature of 54 and right around 50 in Black Forest. That forecast for Colorado Springs, hey, there it goes, right there. We're looking for decreasing clouds overnight, low temperature of 29. In Pueblo, low temperature of 25. And coming up for tomorrow, look for some high clouds, breezy and a little bit cooler, but still in the 50s. That's not too bad. We'll look for a high temperature of 53. And in Pueblo, same kind of thing. Look for a high temperature of 56 with some clouds at times. Hey, you can always get our forecast on our Fox 21 mobile app powered by Fox 21 News and brought to you by Pueblo Toyota. So coming up for tomorrow, we'll look for some of that high clouds like we had out there today. It'll be a little bit cooler, but not too bad. How about the weekend? Well, we'll talk more about that coming up later on in the show. Right now, we're going to head back down to our downtown studios. Nikki.
All right, sounds good. Thanks so much, Terry. Tonight's Money Matters interview coming up live with Ideal Home Loans. Stay with us. You're watching Fox 21 News at 6:30 live downtown.
Can you talk? Oh. Yeah. Can you hear me? 1, 2? No, hang on. All right. Hang on, I forgot to turn the other one on the camera. Go ahead and talk now. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Testing, testing.
Joining us tonight is Brent Ivinson from Ideal Home Loans. So first, thanks so much for coming down here tonight.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, love the new studio. It's great.
All right. Well, I know you're our first guest in this segment, so hopefully it all looks okay for folks at home. So don't mess up.
Right. I'll try not to.
Well, we want to talk a little bit about refinancing because that's something that can really help folks save a lot of money, right?
Well, it can. You know, and believe it or not, 60% of homeowners with an outstanding mortgage balance are paying 5% or higher currently. And so to give you an idea, on a $250,000 loan balance,
if you took advantage of current interest rates, you'd be dropping your payment by $230 a month.
Wow, that's huge for a lot of people.
It is.
Talk about the target that maybe would benefit most from this.
Well, you know, really anybody out there right now who's paying 4.5% or higher, when you look at 30-year fixed rates in the mid-threes, it really makes sense to refinance. And what you have to look at is how much is it costing you, how much are you saving, and are you going to be there long enough to recoup those costs? So you've got to get everything up front, you've got to make an informed decision and really make sure that the math works to your benefit.
And we do stories all the time, too, on the cost of rent and how a lot of people could probably go out and buy a home and their mortgage payment would be less than what they're paying for rent. So are you seeing more and more people interested in buying a home now?
Well, absolutely. You know, if you look at who's set up really to win in the marketplace today, it is the first-time home buyer. If you're renting right now, you're paying your landlord's mortgage, pay your own mortgage, buy a home. You really are going to be in a great position, and it really is going to set you up long-term financially very, very well.
All right, smart to do it now.
Definitely.
All right, Brent, thanks so much for being down here tonight.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. Well, for more information about financing a home or qualifying for a home loan, all you need to do is visit idealhomeloans.com. Well, Super Bowl without wings, it's kind of like Thanksgiving without the turkey. At least that's what some are saying. But it could be a possibility for the big game. And Kitty Carriage, a team of students in Colorado, come together to help Flipper get around. Stay with us. We're live downtown. Well, the Super Bowl is a week from Sunday, and one thing on everyone's mind, of course, a whole lot of chicken wings. But unfortunately, well, the American Chicken Council is warning it may be tougher to find wings this year. That's because of record high prices for corn, which makes up to 2/3 of a chicken's diet. The council expects 12 million fewer wings will be eaten this Super Bowl weekend. In tonight's Modern Medicine, a group of high school robotics students in Denver are helping make life a little easier for a cat after it lost use of its 4 legs. Now the frisky feline is rolling around with a little help. Fox's John Bowman has that story.
Our problem was that the spinal cord was twisted, much like a telephone cable is twisted, so that while half the body was going forward, the other half of the body was going sideways.
Dr. Harry Gurney at the Aspen Park Vet Clinic knew Flipper was steps away from being put to sleep. A feline unable to function on all fours, even standing was impossible for Flip.
From the point of fracture, the kitty cat lost proper use of the rear end.
Over time, the task is restoring communication over the entire spinal cord so everything functions for Flipper. In the short term, Enter the Conifer High School Blitz Robot Club.
I love cats. I love building things, so the two come together, and that's great.
It's in 3D, so we can look at it from everywhere.
Several prototypes were drawn to life.
And this one tipped over too much, so then we revised it.
Team Blitz coming up with a cat cart to help support Flip's twisted legs.
She's a lesson for all of us and how to be brave and the challenges that we all face in life, and she just does it with a smile on her face. Here we go. We're going to put your little head in first.
In hushed tones, the top secret cat traption is fitted on Flipper. On your mark.
Okay, here we go.
Get set.
Okay, there you go.
Go. In no time, she's cruising the clinic. This way and that, zipping and ripping, not dragging legs behind.
It's absolutely wonderful because it gives her a chance for a normal life. Our whole intent is that eventually she'll be able to walk on her own.
For all those who have tried to adopt Flipper, maybe now is not the right time. Give her a few months. She could be walking to a different beat this time next year.
Well, that was Fox's John Bowman reporting. Stick with us, Terry. We'll have a week's worth of weather coming up right after the break. We're live downtown.
Let's take a look at a week's worth over the weekend. Not bad. Temperatures in the 50s. Sunday, probably your best day. Slight chance of some snow Monday night into Tuesday as we cool off. Back to downtown. Nikki.
All right. Thanks so much, Terry. Thank you for being with us tonight. We hope to see you back here tonight again at 9. Have a good one.